Merry Christmas 2020. So again, this is Paul. I'm at Rocky Mountain National Park. I am currently at Lawn Lake Trailhead, and I usually do this as my annual Christmas thing. Wife's out of town. I was going on a nice hike, and I've actually been driving around the park for about an hour, and short look, there's no snow here. So I'm here to go snowshoeing. I have my micro spikes on. I'll be using those. I don't even know if I'm going to take them with me today. I'm still thinking about it. I'll be going up Lawn Lake Trailhead this way, but interesting as I pull in, look right in front of me right now. Those guys are actually buds right there. One of them had some drool coming out. He was giving me a look right before I got the video going. But gonna let them be. But kind of cool. So when you actually come into the park, a lot of times you see the wildlife as you're driving around. And like I said earlier, I've actually been driving around for an hour just trying to find a spot where I want to go. This is the first time I've been here since the fires, and they are still opening trails, and a lot of them are closed. So I usually go to Bear Lake, and there's so much closed up there that I just don't think it's worth it. So I'm familiar with this trailhead here. So again, I'll be going up Lawn Lake. I'll give you a look once I get some elevation. So right as I arrived today, the parking lot started to fill. So there actually is a group behind me. So I'm gonna make a little bit of time. I'll shoot some videos heading in this direction. And this hike, for the most part, as you can see, when it's really shady, you need your spikes, but otherwise haven't needed anything so far. And just by looking up there, again, I'm going to 11,000 feet. It will change up there, but I took the risk and said, you know what, I don't think I need to strap on my shoes today. So again, the idea today was to drive around and see some of the sights, and a lot of the roads are closed, and again, so are the hiking trails. Or if you do them, if you go to Bear Lake, there's only a little bit open. So this is Lawn Lake, and I've been here many times. I actually had my first bear encounter probably within a mile of here, and I heard the loud crash. This is 15 years ago, so I had what, a 3.2 megapixel camera, and I could tell he was friendly-ish. So turned it on, took some video from afar, kept on going, but I was solo backpacking at that time, just when I was starting out. So I can still remember thinking about, do I turn around, do I keep going? And of course I did. But cool area. And this is also one of the focal points of the Great Flood. I want to say it was 76. So this is one of those areas where it was kind of like the starting point of it right here. All right, so this should be a quiet, peaceful hike with a gradual uphill. So maybe when I get to an intersection, I'll film again, but for the most part, this will not be super duper exciting. It's just more relaxing and being out in the woods. So I'm now about an hour into my hike. Terrain is mixed. I'm on switchbacks now. They're real elongated, so they're not hard. But you just go through sections where there's snow and then none. And repeat, so you can tell normally it's a very wind-blown area. So eventually, it is a 6.5 mile hike to the ranger station at 11,000 feet. I'll have to look, but 2,200 feet of elevation gain. So this is a little deeper area. So when you're in this, it's like beach stand. It does slow you down. Every now and then you hear a breeze, but otherwise not a sound out here. Absolutely nothing. So it will open up probably in about 45 minutes or so. You can just see the peak through the trees in that general direction there. So feeling good, gonna keep on heading up the hill. So when I moved to Colorado about 20 years ago, I would go snowshoeing in the winter to kind of recon backpacking sites. So I've actually stayed at both of these before, and I believe at one point they were closed because of all the deadfall. So I'm gonna go check them out really quick. I don't think they're too far from here, usually within a quarter mile. And then I'll jump back on the trail. You'll also notice all the fishing here big fines, catch and release. I fished here before. They're pretty small, but once you get to the big lake up there, they're absolutely huge. And there's a couple of secret spots up there. If I make it all the way up there, I doubt I'll make it to the spots, but maybe I'll give you a little pointer of where those are right here. So, all right, I'm gonna go check out some of the backcountry sites. Don't have a GPS with me, but all of them, about 80% I do have marked in, so I can usually get beeps and all that when I come to these areas. But this trail, there's not a lot of offshoots. It's pretty consistent. So I'll check in once I get a view up there, but I'm gonna go check out these sites right now. All right, so I can tell I'm getting close, a mile. But check this out. Ice. Now you're gonna hear my crampons. So recall there are a couple bridges and areas. I'm glad I have these right now. It's pretty. So obviously running right around this area here. So it should open up in a bit, but I'm probably going to be there in about 20 minutes. All right, last 20 minutes, a lot of ice. Check this out. So that's from behind me. And you can see the coyote tracks right here. And then more ice ahead of me. So I wasn't as close as I thought I was, but this also is not very fast going. But if you did not have spikes right here, you'd have to, go around there. You could do it. This goes to show you. And there's actually hard to see glistening, but it's actually kind of soft too. And you can see air bubbles. So there actually is close to 11,000 feet. Fresh running water still. Here's the coyote, lone guy. So no other tracks. No one has, at least in the last week, except this coyote, been up this far. I saw some tracks back there that ended. So, all right, now I'm going to say a half hour and I should be there. And it looks like now I'll be breaking trail. Hopefully it doesn't get too deep. And this is the area where I thought, all right, I can strap on my snowshoes just in case. So we'll see. But it looks like it'll be okay from here, so I guess the only way to know is to head on up. I keep thinking I'm almost there, and I am almost there. If you look behind me, again, I am breaking this trail, and it is sugar, so each step's about 6 inches deep. So yeah, snowshoes would have helped out. So it's pretty labor intensive once you start stepping down every time to go through this right here. Still see my friend the coyote. A little aged. It's been interesting in some spots. You'll see the tracks next to rabbit tracks. So he's out hunting, but you can see just the break ahead here. So I am getting close. It's almost lunchtime, so hopefully soon I'll have a good shot for you. All right, I have not filmed in a while because it's been tough. It has been post-hulling the whole way until about right here. You can see this is pretty windblown. So now, lake's right there. Water coming out of it, so there's like a chute the whole way. Pretty windy. You can tell it's windswept. So I think I'm going to start looking for my lunch spot because I am out of energy. But wow, it definitely took me almost another hour to get here, what I thought. And looking back, leaving the snowshoes in my car was a bad idea. So I've been post-holding up to my knees probably the last mile and a half. So I have to go through it to get back too. So here again. So the lake is literally right in those trees over there. But I think I made a lunch right here in the sun. All right, maybe I'll check in once I get lunch going. All right, well, it is Christmas, so I thought I'd make myself a decent lunch. So I've got here some orange chicken, a couple egg rolls. The first match would not light it, and I had the gas all the way up. So sometimes you go through all that work, you bring your equipment out, and it doesn't work for you, but it did. It just took a second max to get it going, but again, I am at 11,000 feet, so cool area. I literally just had a guy I've been talking to for the last 10 minutes as I was doing all this, so I didn't film it, but it was kind of funny. I was so paying attention here, he literally startled me. So he's the only other person I've seen on the trail outside of the couple at the very, very beginning, but I haven't seen them the whole rest of the hike. And he kind of said the same thing, you know, been here before, it's right over there, but he said, boy, it's 1 o'clock. He said, I think I'm going to turn around now. It is starting to get a little windy up here, so I'm going to probably, again, eat this lunch, scarf it down in the next 10 minutes, turn around myself. It'll start to get dark about 3:30 because you have the angle of the sun and all that, and then you're in the woods. So he was he mentioned, he thanked me for breaking all the post holes for him, and I said, you can break them back for me on the way back. But that last hour of hiking is probably one of the toughest hiking times that I've ever had. I don't have a lot of weight, but I was post holing and going literally right up to my gator here every step, and it was very, very tiring. That's why I'm glad to have lunch now. So I'm going to scarf this down, and then I should be on the trail in about 20 minutes or so. The wind is dying down a little bit, but again, just to look at the bowl area. So right at the base of that mountain there is where the lake is, and there is an area that does go back there as well. All right, time to eat. All right, heading back. Definitely starting to get windy now. Here's just an idea of the post holing. So now that I've broken it, one guy behind me broke it up, and now he's ahead of me and it's me. It is much easier, and it's actually a little more hard packed now too. You don't go down nearly as much. But before, when it was just me breaking it all, not fun, very tiring. So great workout, that's for sure. And it was funny, he said the same thing. He's like, yeah, I have my snowshoes in my car too. So definitely say the last couple miles of the hike, bring your snowshoes. But at least this hike is probably 90% downhill. So as long as I can maintain my traction, should be relatively easier. And I bet I can cut a half hour off my time on the way back as well. So I'll keep shooting stuff when I get views. Hard to see with a GoPro, but through the trees here, you are in the middle of a giant bowl area where we're coming from. So, all right, gonna keep moving on down the hill, and then I get some views. I'll shoot a couple more videos, but otherwise a very peaceful day in the mountains on Christmas of 2020. So I'm off trail now, but it's a good idea to kind of get a look at what the stream coming out is. So again, way around that corner is the lake, and literally this is a giant stream bed that just goes all the way down to by the parking area. So in the winter you probably could actually follow if you wanted, but kind of in this bowl area. So this is probably about 10-8, more open. So the rest of the hike, once you really get back into the woods over there, in about 15 minutes will be in the trees and kind of in the shade. So this will be my last sun for a while. But again, you can see my trail over there. Head back over, head back on down. So right now in this hike, you get a nice sunspot. So you can tell when the sun can actually hit an area here, there is virtually zero or no snow. That's just a trail. I still have not hit any of the ice patches yet, but I think there was, I don't want to say a dozen, but maybe 10. And I should be hitting those pretty soon once I think it gets back in the shade. This is also one of the few views, again hard to see, but that area over there, again, if you come here in the spring and the summer, that's the running stream, so you're just above it over there. And you can get a little bit of a view way down there, so eventually it goes that direction. Definitely a pretty view. Fresh rock fall here. So this is the easy section. Don't be fooled by what you see here. I would highly recommend bringing snowshoes anytime forward for the rest of the year. But easy stuff right here. All right, getting ready to go on the ice. So as you're going along on this hike, it's nice to take little pit stops, take a look. So that's the mountain that's in front of it. It's definitely a rocky mountain stream. And in the beginning of the spring, it's actually pretty solid. So it is fishable. Once you're down in there, it's okay. But the other thing I'm noticing is there's only been 2 trees that were over on the trail. The trail maintenance is absolutely fantastic here. And once you get into this section, it's really smooth sailing. But again, it is just a woods walk. So your vision is limited to really, 30 feet off the trail either side. No real animals today, anything besides the parking area. And that seems to happen a lot because that's where the most food is. It's going to be at the lowest level. All right, once I get to another vista, I'll take another shot for you. Still heading down some gradual switchbacks. And there's a little up and down. But again, just a very, very thick, relatively healthy forest, I'd say for the most part. And I was thinking earlier, maybe it's being Christmas Day, it's possible the gates are up and there weren't rangers there. Maybe it's a free day to come into the park. So I was like, yeah, it's possible. So again, sense of direction is very easy. The big riverbed is always on that direction by the other mountain on the other side over there. And now it's more sporadic with the snow and the dirt. But you can see how it'd be easy to start this hike. All right, I'm back. So one of the things, because of the cold weather, is your batteries will definitely drain out here. So in my last video, I saw, whoops, looks like it turned off. So I have my other one carrying right in here. So looks like it's fresh. Absolutely get me back, no problem. And I'm almost done shooting videos anyway. Definitely, just listen to how quiet it is out here. So outside of a couple squirrels, I really haven't even heard any animals, seen any. So this is definitely more of a hike in the woods. And I'm definitely glad the fires did not impact this area because these are all lodgepole pines. And see, some deeper snow comes and goes. But just think how fast an area like this could go up if there ever was a fire here. So luckily that did not happen. All right, I'm almost there, and I think there's a really good vista coming up, so I'll shoot a video there. So you can now notice by looking, the sun is over there, so it's beyond that ridge. So there is no direct sunlight in here on this trail, and it's 3 p.m. So you can realistically say at 3:30, it's getting dark, and by 4:30, it's pitch black. So when I do snowshoe, I will bring a headlamp, just in a worst case, that way you're prepared. I'm not worried about it. This is a very easy trail, and I'm probably a half hour from the car. So even though I'm shooting video, but it's just kind of interesting when you think about your daylight hours and what you truly get in the winter. You got to remember, when you're in the mountains, it's going to be less than what you think. And again, the sun is on that side of the ridge over there, so there's still light. You can still see the rays where I was 15 minutes ago, way up there. So there's light, but it's not direct. And by no means is it dark. I'm still wearing my glasses. All right, if you listen quietly, there is running water here, and I'm literally looking at it right now. So probably under those rocks, there's enough heat from the sun, just a little bit. But if you needed water, you'd probably skirt down here somehow. All right, it's definitely starting to flatten out now. That is the view of the destination, but there's still another really cool view. I'm still probably 800 feet up over the parking lot area. So I'll show you that, and those are probably my last videos of the day. But day is winding down, very peaceful, and surprisingly still warmish. Not cold at all, no wind. It's actually very, very pleasant out here right now. So having a great time on Christmas 2020. All right, last rays of sunshine for the day. And virtually no snow on the trail. Just enough where you can step over it. Beautiful. Some pretty serious erosion right here. Right below me. Tree, rocks. Yeah, that guy. Barely there. And if you're just hiking this part, look at this. You can have your sandals on. It's still a good ways up. All right, so I got a ways to go to get down. All right, one last look for the crypt. The parking lot just over there. So I should be there in 20 minutes. You can see the road faintly on the way out. And that sun is within, I don't know, 10 minutes of being finally over that crest. So it's almost 3:30 right now. So I should be at the car by 3:45, and pretty good timing. Great day outside. I think I started hiking 9:15. Drove around for an hour beforehand. So great way to spend Christmas. And I appreciate you watching and hope you have a great 2021.